I was in Florida in April for the girls Tier 1 Nationals. Um, Most recently, I was in Minnesota for the NIT. It's just the National Invitational Tournament for the girls' youth side, which was really, really fun. I like going everywhere for hockey. It's a good experience to like travel and still be a part of the sport. That was U14 to U19.
So speaking of like women's hockey, have you been watching the PWHL you organize, and what's your thoughts on that league so far? Have you got to check out watch any of the
Goodness.
games?
I have not
Yeah,
been a bad ally to female sports, and I have not watched any games yet, other than the USA versus Canada women's game that came through San Jose a few months ago. As far as the retirement itself was so fun. I was on like ice level for that, helping out with everything, the setup of it all, the pre-ceremony of everything. Um, and there were definitely some tears. Just how he spoke about his teammates and how his teammates spoke about him. It was just really emotional in a good way. It was kind of like closing the door on a really, really good squad that we had. We have a great squad now. We're rebuilding, but that was just a whole other level of Sharks hockey and like, Pavelski, Burns, Hurdle, Thornton, just the dream team. So, um, it was a bittersweet. It was so awesome to see his number go up into the rafters, but bitter in the sense that it kind of like closed the door on that really fun group. Really good. I mean, he really loves it, and he doesn't think of himself as like someone who's like the superstar, but he is. And I think that's why people love him so much. Um, and then like the Legends game,
about what you had to do for the Legends game.
that was so fun. It was a packed house at the Tech CU where the Barracuda play. Um, I mean, everyone was so nice. They're so silly. It was fast. I mean, the Pavelski was out there, and I mean, he's only 1 year out of the NHL, so he's still got it.
Let me ask
Um,
you a question about Pavelski. Did you say, hey, if you score, you go above the crossbar. This is not gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wash this out. You can't be tipping above the crossbar, Pavelski. Did you trip him a little bit?
no, so I was actually the linesman. I was not the referee. So I was not on the goal line to tease any of the players. Um, I was definitely liberal in my icing calls because I know they just want to keep her going. But everyone
Yeah,
was so, so nice out there, and like just having like being out there, like standing, in the referee crease while the players are being introduced and skating to their blue line. And they were so sweet. They like came to us and like shook our hands, said, "Hey, how you doing? Nice to
that's
see you."
awesome. I
Um,
love that.
yeah, I mean, it's like this guys you grew up watching, and then you're out there now with them, and it's kind of surreal, but
Yeah,
they're very, very sweet individuals.
great. Did
Yeah.
you have somebody toss somebody out? I always have to say, hey, stick down, Marlo. I know you want to get the stick down, but hey, get out of the circle, man. Did you tell anybody that?
It's so funny. I'm usually very strict when it comes to face-offs, and I will not hesitate to throw someone, but I was very nice. I did not throw any of those players out. Actually, there was an icing. Um, we were told again to be liberal with it. Look, they want to just keep it going.
Yeah, yeah.
Less whistles, the better. If it's close, just wave it. I did, and Nabokov would not let me like forget it. It's like
He
that.
would. He would. He would, wouldn't he?
Or icing, yeah, and he's so silly because I go way back with him when he was coaching his little one, and it's
Yeah.
funny because it was over an icing call, and he was like, "My player got to it first," And I'm like, sir, this is USA hockey. There's no hybrid icing in USA hockey.
I
So it
got
was kind
this.
of funny. It was like full story. He's like then arguing with me like 10 years later about icing as well. But it was all in good fun. And, Mike
That's
Ricci's out there saying, don't listen to him. He's a goob. So,
yeah, the Makov's the best. You know,
yeah,
he
it's very funny.
he's still a development coach, right, for the Sharks, right? Sharks development goalie, isn't he?
So, yeah, he's definitely involved still in things.
You start your coaching career.
I don't know nearly enough about hockey to ever coach a team. Um, but I know the rules very well. I'll keep reffing. I don't think I'll make it to the AHL, but I'm happy with the path that I'm on and very happy to be coaching upcoming officials, the youth officials with our local affiliations.
Let's say I don't play hockey right now. Let's say I just skate public and I like to watch hockey. How would I go about being a ref? How would I start that process?
I mean, anyone can be a ref if you're willing to, read the rule book and take the test, work on your skating. I mean, the schedulers usually know someone's like abilities as an official. So, if you're newer to the sport, they probably won't be putting you in like a 14U tier one game or anything. But, you start lower, you start with your 10U games. We do have a good like mentorship program with Norhoa. So you're usually paired with a mentor and they give you notes, they are assigned with you, stuff like that. And there's a lot of camps in the Pacific District that is offered to officials to participate in to become better. The NAHL and NA3, they have like basically
For
like,
junior hockey, correct?
yeah,
Forgive me, junior
yeah.
hockey. Yeah,
They have a scouting referee camp thing coming up in what is it? In a couple months. It's going to be in Irvine.
yeah.
So I
And
try
it's
to tell
five point, 5 point, or
I shrink, but yes, 5 Point Arena.
yeah.
It's nationals.
Who's your favorite NHL ref right now, or
Probably
linesman, or
I have to
linesman?
say Jordan.
Okay,
Um,
why you say that?
so I went to California referee school a couple years ago, and it's a great experience. It's a great like camp for upcoming officials who want to get to that next level, that high level of hockey. A lot of times juniors and possibly the AHL. Um, and he was really the only one who came up to me and was like, "Hey, can I help you like with this?" I think he saw that I was struggling a bit um, in terms of like just like skating. I'm not like the strongest, um, and like little things. And he was the only one who came up to me and actually like offered to help me. And he stepped in. He's like, "Hey, try this, do this. This will really help your stride, your edges, stuff like that, edge work." Um, and that really stuck with me. It's really great like seeing an NHL official like give back to the referee community.
What would you tell like a parent that maybe they don't have a background in hockey, maybe they do, and they get frustrated with the game, and they're not on the ice. They just want their kid to do well. They want their kid to perform. They want their team to win, and maybe they don't get the right call. Maybe they think, hey, that all these calls are going against me right now. What would you tell that parent right now?
So, in my experience as a high level official, a lot of calls are made because a player is overcompensating for the fact that they are not as good as, the opposing team, if that makes sense. So I guess I don't really have like a nice way to like tell a parent like you're wrong or anything, but sometimes like it is what it is. Like work on your game, work on like being like better to where you aren't committing any infractions that are being called. I know sometimes it feels like you're being picked on. I've heard that before. We're being picked on. You're picking on us. It's like really not. I call what I see. I don't call what I don't, type of thing. I mean, I guess keep your stick down.
What would you say to players out there that may not think that you have their best interest at heart, that you against them, not the parents, but from a youth player. Would you kind of say you have the viewpoint? I'm just trying to manage the game, keep this game, on time, keep this game efficient, and I'm just trying to just make it, fair for everybody? Or would you say that sometimes people don't understand that because they're so into the game plan, listening to their coach, like one deviation from that is gonna throw them off a little bit, and they're gonna make you a target. What would you tell that player that like you're not? What would you tell that player right now?
You're picking on us type of thing. But if it
Maybe they
did,
don't say it. Go ahead.
I mean, if it did happen, I guess I would just try to explain like these are like the rules. You know, when you're like it's these judgment calls that I think a lot of players might have issues with or not always understand like why is that being called and maybe that wasn't called on the other team type of thing. I think there's a lot that goes into play and you have to explain that to them. Like, look, I called that because it's 6-0. You're winning 6-0. You hacked him. There's really no reason for it. Versus like a 1-0, 2 minutes left in the game, and the team with, zero maybe gets a little hack. I might let it go type of thing. So it's really that judgment, like game management, a lot of things like come into play. And, depending on the situation, I will explain like, look, these are the circumstances right now, and that is why my call is the way it is, or not a call.
Right. I feel that's fair.
And I think that's why, like in a Stanley Cup final, like a lot is like let go that may not be let go like in like the first month of the season type of thing. So it's really about that game management
Yeah, 'cause every shift is so important, and one call can change the outcome of the game.
and I've
Yeah.
seen it happen
Real quick, if there was one rule you could change in the NHL, what would you change?
in the NHL. NHL. Well, I would change a rule in USA hockey, but I don't
Okay,
know about
okay, what
that.
would you want to say? What would USA hockey will be different? What would you change for USA hockey?
So I don't know if you're familiar with the upcoming rule changes for the next, you know, 5 years.
Well, let us
Um,
know. Let us know. Based
so
on that 5-year rule change,
basically,
what would be your idea?
so basically they're going back to the old rule of an incorrect icing call goes to center ice after all these years.
Wow.
I believe it should be last played for an incorrect icing call. If they send it down, we blew it, it shouldn't have been blown. I think it needs to stay because the puck was there. That's where it ended up. Like, why is it coming back? Like, rewarding them for sending it down anyway, down the ice. That is my only rule that I think I would change. So it's so funny.
Um,
You know how many years I've spent like telling coaches who are like, it's center ice drop, center ice drop. I'm like, no, it's not. But now I have to, they're gonna yell center ice drop. I'm like, yes, yes, it is.
okay. Do you have any thoughts you want to share, or anything I had to ask you that you want to say to the Fresno hockey community, to the Valley hockey community, or just the community of the Falcons community at large, and Canada, United States, internationally? They want to just share your thoughts. So you want to say, shout out anybody out? You want to shout out Heinzie? You want to shout out, make some shout outs right now?
Well, definitely a shout out to Glenn Hines. He was my first hockey coach ever, and he made it so fun. After our little practices, he would always take me and Maddie Maloney out to donuts right after.
Oh
And
yeah,
there's just like the memories. And I think I love hockey as much as I do because of him. So shout out to him.
we'll see you on the ice rink. Drop
Yes.
the puck.